Hello, everyone. How is everyone today? Welcome, welcome to this week's live. Every single week, we have a topic to talk about, and we also have a special guest. So, today's special guest, if you do not see her, you should be. It's Maliha Delvalle. If you are new here, my name is Nicole Gonzalez. I am one of the partners here at Prospera. And every single week at 5 p.m. Thursdays, we do a live with to talk about whatever you want to talk about, the topics, what we're building. We have a special guest, and I really want everybody to understand that these lives are for you. So if you have anything that you want to talk about specifically, just put it in the comments, and we're happy to consider that for our next topic. So just so we can have everybody get to know you, Maliha, because I know every now and then you do pop up, but we have new faces every single time. So can you go ahead and introduce yourself? Tell me a little bit about who you are, what you do in Prospera with us, and how this all came to be for you.
Yes, I am very happy to be here. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Maliha Delvalle, as Nicole has said. And I had started in the industry, I want to say I could say at least 10 years ago now. I've been in the industry for at least 10 years, and it's something that I actually did grow up in. So I have known Nicole probably since I was like 12 years old. We go way back, but she was already starting as a professional in the industry, and I was growing up in the industry. I was working with my parents had owned an agency, and I was watching them grow and develop a lot of individuals, and I was seeing them work with people, get people licensed. They would take me with them on their appointments. So I was learning how to find solutions for clients at a very young age, just seeing like the importance of it. And then as soon as I turned 18, I just loved the industry. I loved everything that the industry stood for, everything that life insurance could do for helping people. It was something I was already very passionate about because I saw how much it had worked and impacted people already. So as soon as I turned 18, I got my license the same day because that was it. I had no choice but to do it. And after that, I just started growing in the industry. I started to build a team and develop a group of people while learning how to help a lot of individuals along the way and learning how to help a lot of clients. And then I kind of started to jump around and really get familiar in the industry. So within Prospera, I actually get to run our life organization. So where I spend most of my time right now is making sure that all of our clients who are working with us are getting service properly, that their experience from start to finish, that their whole process is basically being done and completed. And then we're working also with developing agents to get them either licensed or get them ready for those of our agents who are already licensed. They're already working on either getting contracted and just working to become professionals in the industry. So
Honestly, I love because you go into this fuel every single time, but it's so amazing to me because um, what Malia said, we do go way back. I remember when I first stepped into Marvin and Dee's office, I was 18 years
mhm.
old. Actually, a lot of our agents do see me on the tax side a lot more. I do work more of the marketing in general, but I do have my background in life insurance.
Where you started.
That's where I started. That is my bread and butter. I would say, just like how Daniela
Mhm.
says taxes is her bread and butter, I love life insurance. I love what it does. It's absolutely an industry that changes not only the clients' lives, but the agent's life as well. And it's like one of those things that once you get that license, you can't let it go. You can't let it go. It just you always have it. And that was something very important for me, to just always renew my license, always get it done. And you can't just leave the industry. It's just so many benefits all around. And I'm so excited about today's topic, because we are talking about life insurance. We're going to be talking about the misconceptions, what's misunderstood, the financial topics out there regarding life insurance. And we're going to touch up, some of the things, the many myths that there are in the industry, from getting protection that people actually need, and some people may think it's too expensive. Some people may think that they're too young. Some people, already believe that what they have at work is enough. And it's not to say that those things are, I more specifically the topic for the work, but it's not to say that it's not a good thing. It's always a good thing to have any kind of life insurance, but there are some things that we're going to get into, that we're going to be breaking down some of the facts that comes with life insurance and the misunderstanding of it, if you will. So, at the end of the day, most people, when they come across the idea of life insurance, most people think that it is very, very expensive. And, affordability is maybe one of the top reasons as to why people don't have life insurance, but also they don't, you know, research
Mm-hmm.
to really get to the point of understanding that it can be very inexpensive. It's like, how can I get hundreds of thousands of dollars? Doesn't hundreds of thousands of dollars come with thousands of dollars of a bill? And
Mm-hmm.
most people don't really understand what it takes to really get that affordable side of it. So I think one of the biggest reasons is that people avoid life insurance as a whole, because they assume it's out of their budget,
Mm-hmm.
and they never look into it. So, Malia, is life insurance, we're going to say it, I'm going to say it one more time. Malia, is life insurance really as expensive as people think it is?
Um, yes and no. I would say it's like, yes, life insurance is expensive because no matter what, there's always going to be a very expensive option. It's like when you look at your options, if I'm looking for furniture and I'm looking on Amazon versus I'm looking on Ashley's Furniture directly, or like the actual furniture website directly, there's going to be a difference in price versus something that I could find for $150 versus something I'm going to find for $850. And it could be something very similar or the same. And the difference is just maybe the quality or the features or things like that. So I think that life insurance can be expensive, but that's
Yeah.
because for people who sometimes they wait a little bit longer, or the size of the coverage that they want, or it could be maybe even just the fact that they have, because of the time that's gone by, they now have some health issues that make the coverage not impossible to get, but just a little bit more expensive to get.
Hmm.
Now, when life insurance is not expensive, you don't have to be a baby or young to get life insurance. You can get life insurance and you can find affordable options even when you're older, even when you have health issues. It's just about looking in the right places. It's about understanding this is what my budget is. And this is also just the amount of coverage that I need. Like this is like what happens to me. How much money do I absolutely need? What does it come down to, honestly? But I know that a lot of people and everyone will be like, life insurance is so expensive, life insurance. And not if you do it properly or correctly. Like I was speaking to somebody, and I brag about how much life insurance I have on myself because I think it's so impressive. Like the amount of coverage we can get at such a young age, whether it's permanent, whether it's temporary. I have over $3 million of life insurance on myself, and I pay probably at most $280 a month at
Mhm.
most currently, not counting a policy I'm about to get currently, because I still see the importance of getting coverage and wanting more coverage. But with the policies that I have, I pay, and that's multiple policies, over $3 million of coverage that I have, and that includes permanent coverage. So it's a combination of things. So in
Mhm.
case something happens to me right now, I'm covered. My mother, who is the sole beneficiary on all of them, is phenomenal. Great. But if I get sick, I'm good. I have things set up for when I no longer want to work one day and I just want to be able to rely on always having some money there. I'm setting up those plans now because right now, for all that coverage, it's $280.
Exactly. I mean, and you have different options, different things work for different purposes.
Yep.
And that plays a huge part in affordability. If you cannot afford $100 of life insurance, I'm sure we can find something that's right underneath that budget. Um, and it's not necessarily also because of age. Even a 40-year-old, 50-year-old can
Mhm.
qualify for life insurance even below that budget I just gave you. Now, the question is, which kind of life insurance is it? There are different kinds of life insurances, as well as I will say this, when we're talking about age issues, right, in combination with expense, the affordability of the policy, we're talking about you waiting until you're 60, 65, 70, 75. I had an 80-year-old, 81-year-old reach out to me and say, hey, I need life insurance. For me to quote $5,000 of a final expense, you're looking way over $100. Some
Yeah.
companies don't even offer it to specific individuals. So there's different products, there's different purposes of the products, there's different companies with different products. So just getting connected to somebody that will keep your values at hand, making sure that you do get a good life insurance, right? Sometimes good life insurance, quality life insurance costs a little bit more, right? But
Mhm.
always just keeping in mind of those things. It's very important who you select to review your policies as well. So, or to offer you in general life insurance. There are lots of things out there, but I will say this overall, any life insurance is better than no life insurance. I could care less if it's with us or with somebody else. Please go protect your family.
Mhm.
But the point is that it could be very affordable.
Mhm.
I have a policy when I was 18 years old. I have a policy that I literally only pay like $18 for, and it's thousands of dollars of coverage. I have a couple policies myself. When you're in the industry and you know what you know about life insurance, it's like it's really hard not to have a lot,
Mhm.
right? But $18, you know what? My Chipotle order is not
It's
even
more
$18.
expensive now. Yeah, it's true.
It's
And you'll
absolutely.
get that multiple times a week.
Yes, no, literally. There's so many options out there, and life insurance not being affordable, in a sense, depends what you're looking for. In a sense, the bare minimum foundation of life insurance, the most basic policy is very affordable. So there is no excuse. So I think it's really important to have these conversations instead of like making assumptions, and to learn from the professionals themselves. But for
Mhm.
most people, the cost is more manageable than they expect. And another topic is that a lot of people think that they shouldn't get life insurance, or they don't need to necessarily because they're young and they're healthy. And at the end of the day, I say that waiting isn't always better. It's never better, right? From what I've learned, always just like planning ahead, even if you're single, even if you're not married, even if this, even or that, even if you don't have kids, somebody is going to get the other end of the stick when you're
Mhm.
not here. And I feel like protecting and planning ahead, protecting your future, protecting who else is around you, locking in a couple things that Maliha is going to talk about. But what would you say to someone who's young, healthy, and thinks they don't need coverage yet?
Well, like, it's not that I want to scare someone, because you never want to scare someone. It's not that you're living in fear that you're going to pass away tomorrow. But I
Mm-hmm.
do like to get the doom and gloom out of the way. And the doom and gloom is reality. Like, reality is we can be young, we can be healthy. That does not change that things can happen. Life happens. We always see that what's very common we see in the life insurance industry. You'll see a lot of posts from one of the blogs, lifehappens.org. What are they constantly talking about? The different cases where it doesn't matter whether you're what age you are, where you are in life. Things can happen. Accidents can happen. I've seen cases like that where we've seen death claims paid out for people who were under the age of 25. And it was a normal thing. And it was, thank goodness that they had that coverage. It was families calling us, like, hoping that they still had that coverage, because it was their last resort. And sometimes you are that person's last resort. Like, I was having a conversation with someone and they said, imagine if something happens to, like, this family member tomorrow, you have nothing to bury them. Nothing. And that's so, like, you don't, I never want to say that to someone, but it's kind of impactful. You don't want to be that nothing. If you have that opportunity to, like, preemptively take that pressure off of them now, you can do that, and for a very affordable price. That's one. You can knock that out of the way. There's also, like, yes, you could be young, you can be healthy, but what if you get sick? What if something happens? And it's maybe something outside of what your health insurance will cover. Maybe it's something that stops you from being able to work. How are you able to go about it? How are you able to have access to some benefits? You can use your life insurance for those benefits. So you don't have to worry about putting yourself in so much debt at such a young age,
Mm-hmm.
or feel like you have to restart in the middle of your life again. Like, those are things that, like, you want to, that talks about financial long-term planning. But also, yes, it's very inexpensive to get life insurance when you're young, and you don't have to use it for the doom and gloom or for the if you get sick. You can use it for the financial benefits. Why do I still currently get life insurance? Because I can earn more in an IUL than I can in my savings account. and I am the prime age to do so. So I can get a policy. I can see the long-term growth. I could fund it for however many years I want to, and then stop funding it. And I have access to that money for whatever I want to use it for. I'm not paying taxes on it.
Yep. I mean, you don't have to wait till retirement age to touch that money. You can use it like 10 years, 5 years, even like 3 years down the line. You want to put a down payment on a house. You want to.
I have one going that I can have access to the full amount in up to 4 years.
Yep.
And it's just about understanding, like, what are your long-term goals? Right now, you're setting yourself up for your future. Maybe you're saying, I've seen so many people who are my age who say in 10 years, in 20 years, I don't want to work. We're young. Imagine people who are 65 years old who were saying that.
Mm-hmm.
What do we have to do to, like, set ourselves up to properly say that, hey, if I don't want to work in 10 years, 20 years, what do I have to fall back on? If I can't work in 10 years and 20 years, what do I have to fall back on? If I just want to, like, help my family a little bit. I saw someone making a TikTok of a guy promoting life insurance to parents saying, if your kids are in the street, if your kids are bad, if you have to correct your kids about the fact that they're risking their lives, just get a life insurance policy on them.
Literally, yeah.
And everybody, all the parents in the comments were like, yep, you're right, you're right, you're right. I've seen women talk about the fact that their husbands always ignore them about going to the doctor. She said, that's okay. Every time he ignores me, I just raise the life insurance.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Another avenue, another option. there's just a lot of different reasons that people get life insurance, but to deter it because you're young, when it's like that's almost like the preemptive way to go and the best time to do it because you're not scrambling. Like we're younger, but we see the older generation right now. And it's some people are like, "Hey, it's my family." So I sometimes I don't understand when it's like it's your family that you see struggling
Mhm.
because they didn't get to put something in place, and they want to now. They wish they could now. And it's really hard and not affordable now because life happens, things happen. And you have a chance to control that a little bit earlier and kind of also change that generational cycle. That's how generational wealth was created, by the way. For many, many families, is through life insurance.
Yep.
So for a lot of young people, that's their goal.
Probably one of the easiest ways to have generational wealth, literally.
Yeah.
It's like you're not God, you know, you don't know when it's going to happen, but it's like it's one of those things that like what are you doing with the opportunities in front of you? How are you stewarding your family? How are
Mhm.
you stewarding your finances for the future? If what if happens, right? The what if. And honestly, yeah, you're healthy. Yeah, you probably aren't thinking about retirement.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're pretty young and you're probably thinking nothing is going to happen to you, but it's not even out of fear. It's just why not be proactive instead of reactive? And then when you're reactive, it's too late. I think
Mhm.
somebody had said, or it's something that I had taught our agents. We were talking about how when I was 18 years old, it was crazy because I didn't have responsibilities. I didn't have kids. I wasn't married. I wasn't nothing, you know, I was just a 18-year-old college kid. And at that point, I even assumed responsibility for myself. Like, I am independent, and I have to make decisions for myself and also for my pockets because it's super affordable when you're young, when you're healthy, and you haven't
Mhm.
gone through any diagnoses. uh, I don't think that's how you say it, but any conditions, right? Um, and that can eventually affect you from getting approved for life insurance, right? And for me, it's like who knows? Maybe it's better to be 5 years too early, 10 years too early, 15 years too early than literally 1 second too late. And sometimes, unfortunately, it takes somebody to get to you have no idea. There's so many situations that happen in real life that
Mhm.
individuals they go to the doctor for something routine, something very normal, something, oh, I have, you know, this going on or whatever. The doctor checks, and the next sentence that comes out is the doctor letting you know, hey, this is what you have. This is what's
Mhm.
going on. And sometimes those phrases are determining factors that can affect you from ever getting life insurance.
Mhm.
Um, Once something is on your medical record, once a condition is on your medical record, there's just no way to go back from it. And yeah, like you're young, good. It's inexpensive. You're healthy, good. Prepare yourself still, you know, and those options where there are those opportunities for financial planning in the long
Mhm.
run. One thing that I learned is retirement in general, whatever you want to do in the future, you don't have to wait until retirement to touch that money. But just knowing that all of those things take time to grow.
Yeah.
It takes time to grow. You can't put all your savings in an account and then the next day pull it out and it has hundreds of thousands of dollars more, you know?
Mhm.
And if we're talking about protected growth, so there's lots of options out there for life insurance. It's not just, you know, protecting you if you pass away, it's protecting if you get sick, it's protecting your income, it's making sure your kids go to college
Yeah.
with the compound growth. It's providing for yourself in general, and cash accumulation and permanent it's just so much mortgage protection. There's so much to it that don't hide behind I'm young and I'm healthy.
Yeah.
Don't hide behind it. I mean, if anything, you have two great examples right in front of you. Young and healthy, but protected.
Yeah, young, healthy, protects. It's like you just walk around with more peace, you know?
No, it's like I could go to sleep at night and I am okay. My family's gonna be even better. I'm gonna
Mhm.
be better, and it's just that other layer to it. So, at the end of the day, it's always better to prepare yourself before you actually need something and not after. And
Yeah.
that is what's very important. Another misconception is employer coverage. So I work a 9 to 5, for example,
Yeah.
and my employer is offering me a life insurance, and obviously I'm working there. Maliha, that life insurance that they say that they give me and all of those things, is that enough, or do I need more life insurance, or should I just depend on that?
I I mean, I think it's nice that they have it. I think it's a great option to always get. I think additional coverage is always great. Do I
Mhm.
think it's enough? No. Do I
No.
think it should be somebody's only reliable option? Not really, because yeah, maybe when you're single and you're young and you're like, it's just me. I don't really have that many responsibilities or that many things to care about. It's like you don't see it as like, oh, okay, this is like that great, but like life insurance that you'll have through your job is significantly less than what you'll be getting typically on your own. So it's like, will it cover will it cover everything you actually need? And then also when you're dealing with your employer in life insurance, that means that as long as you're an employee, you have those benefits. You have that life insurance policy. But when you leave that job, you lose that life insurance policy. It's a annually renewable policy that at that year you won't keep. Now, I say when you're there, it's great coverage to have, but I just don't think that it's enough coverage for somebody based on maybe the responsibilities they have, because it's if they are not able to work that job anymore, what happens?
Mhm.
It's if their family needs a little bit more support, what happens? It's if they could find something, a product where it's more suitable for them and their family, or more affordable, or they can save more for their retirement for when they're not at that job anymore. They would want that option a little bit. Or protecting all the liabilities in case something happens and they have to stop working. So those are just, I think, some of the points that you can get those things like, um I would say a quarter of what you actually need with like life insurance through your employer, versus being able to do it and sit down with a professional to understand everything you long term need, not just what your standard basis of what the flat rate of everyone being offered there.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I also think that so life insurance, right, is very important. I say to keep it independently, privately to yourself. It's not something that you want to put in the hands of an employer, because employer benefits change often. You know, one
Mhm.
day they could just be like, I mean, for example, Spirit Airlines, people out of nowhere, okay, the company shut down. It's non-existent basically. All of their
Mhm.
benefits are gone. I feel like keeping employer life insurance is always great to have, in the as an addition to, but not as the sole, the main, coverage that you
Mhm.
have. The reason why is also because we just talked about it. The younger you are, the healthier you are, the more inexpensive it is, the more affordable it can be.
Mhm.
So imagine somebody, and now we live in a culture that people move from job to job to job to job.
Mhm.
After 5 years, they just get tired and they move on, and that's very common nowadays, compared to how it used to be. Somebody would stick in their job for like 30, 40 years, whatnot. But we live in a culture where, yeah, it is what it is. People are constantly applying for new jobs, and every time you leave your employer, right, you're leaving that benefit there. And also, like, your age, you're still growing, you're still, getting older through the process. So imagine somebody goes into their employer at the age of 30, they get out at the age of 40. I promise you, private insurance at the age of 30 would have been a lot more cheaper than you having to go and look for it all over again at the age of 40 when you get out of that
Mhm.
job or when you leave. I think some people, they get that realization of like, oh, I need private life insurance, and they realize so late. And it's because the employer insurance is just not enough. Sometimes they don't even offer the same benefits as a private life insurance would offer, which is life insurance isn't only for death reasons. Life insurance is for living benefits. There's what do you call it? Living benefit riders. So those are the chronic, the critical, and terminal illnesses. Anything that does come up, you'll be protected, meaning you can use your life insurance while you're alive. And most employer policies don't even offer living benefits. It's only that death benefit. So
Mhm.
I yeah, I mean, honestly, just keeping everything dependent on that, it's kind of like you're limiting yourself, cutting the possibilities. I don't know. I feel like reviewing your protection is always important, and you just have to really understand if it truly matches your goals, your family's goals.
Yeah, because it's not even just like, oh, like I'm young and I could get it cheaper when I'm younger. It's also like, hey, maybe I have those health conditions already, or maybe I'm at the age
Mhm.
that like I really do need to seriously sit down and see how much coverage I really truly need. Because yes, you're gonna get something for work, but is it gonna cover everything you need it to cover? If
Yeah.
you're if you have a medical condition, that doesn't mean that you can no longer get life insurance. It actually means that you could find coverage even more tailored to what you might need to cover or what you need to make sure you're paying attention to. And um, does it make the process a little bit harder? Sure, maybe, whatever. But I think that it's like a long term, you're looking for the long term reward. And you're also trying to make sure that if you're doing it through your employer, you don't get left behind because the employer does not, all they have to do is tell you that they're not providing coverage anymore. They don't
Mhm.
have to find you a replacement. They
Nope.
don't have to pay for the other one. They just have to notify you. And then you have to figure it out. And sometimes we get to a point that we can't figure it out. So it's have the conversation now while it's like it's so unimportant to have because it's a blessing that it's so unimportant to have it right now because it means like, hey, life is going good and that's great. But like you want to set yourself up so life can always be good, you know?
Mhm. Absolutely. And I feel like at the end of the day, like, these conversations, they do matter, not just because of what's out in the marketplace and, because we do life insurance. At the end of the day, like, you have to make a decision for yourself. Do you want to protect your loved ones? Do you wanna provide
Mhm.
financial security in the unknown? In the unknown, planning ahead instead of reacting. Reacting is car washes, reacting is GoFundMe, reacting is asking for donations from here and there. There's so many options for you available, affordable right now. I promise you, the most inexpensive life insurance will be for you is right now. It's not waiting
Mhm.
a year later. It's not waiting a couple months later. It's now. And it's mainly because you are your healthiest right now. You are the youngest right now, and
Mhm.
there's so many options available. So, just a peace of mind. At the end of the day, it's not really about the policy; it's about the people that you're protecting, including yourself. So, what do you wish more families understood about having these conversations before it's too late?
I think it's just that you really are leaving like a lasting impact and it's something that like I've witnessed and I've seen. It's like you're never going to replace the person that passed away or left, but it doesn't mean that that person has to stop taking care of you when they passed away. Like I've seen cases where it's that family member that left something behind was able to help fund the next 10, 15 years of their children's lives, because the fact that their children will never have to work again if they don't want to. But they also wanted it to be set up in a way that they're going to continuously grow money, that they're
Mhm.
not going to kind of lose. They want to create that generational wealth and keep it. And you have that opportunity to like set that up for your family or learn that. But a lot of people don't realize that it is such a lasting impact that you can leave. And there's also a lot of financial benefits for when you're alive, for you to utilize it while you're alive for things that you need maybe right now, or maybe what you need in 15 years, 20 years. Someone says, hey, in 10 years, I want to buy a home. I want to save up to do this, this, and this. Where are you saving your money? Like, if you're going to save it in a savings account, why don't you save it in a life insurance policy where you have access to benefits and you get 6% growth tax free at least? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like you have options to where, and you're young and you'll get approved and you get to have this kind of coverage and this safety net, but you don't have to use it for just that.
Mhm.
A lot of people just, I think, there's just a lot of different options that people will have access to if they look for it. There's so many different options. Like, there is something for you out there in the market. There definitely is. There's definitely, someone can't say I don't have a product that will work for me. That's not true. There's so many carriers out there that are willing to help people nowadays find the coverage that they need.
Exactly. So, I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, it's all about preparation. It's not about fear. It's
Mhm.
about making that difference for the people you care most and for yourself as well. And, just don't let the myths, what you've heard about life insurance, make those important decisions for you.
Yeah.
It's really about making sure that you find the knowledge, because the knowledge will lead to better decisions, and better
Mhm.
decisions can create stronger financial foundation. So at the end of the day, we're always here to guide you through the process. If you are somebody that does have life insurance and you want to review again your options, or review what you have, you're not sure what you have, I highly recommend that you get in contact with a professional, any life insurance, licensed life insurance agent that we have here. Please reach out to us. We actually have many specialists on deck ready to help you and guide you through your options. We work with 40 plus carriers in the industry as well. So it's just so you have a better idea that at the end of the day, it's not about affordability, it's about what you need, and what is out there. We've already debunked it. There's something out there for you. Don't pay attention to what you have in the bank account. I'm sure we can
Mhm.
figure something out. So, outside of that, I also want to showcase the opportunity we have here, for all of the individuals that want to become a life insurance agent or learn how to help families in this way. It is a very much a noble profession. I've also done death claims myself, so I know the impact that it has in people's lives. So I highly recommend that you reach out to us. We actually will help you through licensing. We'll get you contracted with carriers and all of those things. And you can become an independent agent with us. So, just so you know, our licensing coordinator, literally the reason as to why so many of our agents are getting licensed. We have a couple that just got licensed recently, and it's Miss Maliha Delvalle. So, I mean, if you are interested in learning more about the opportunity, we have an overview call every Monday at 7 p.m. for our English and 8 p.m. for our Spanish. And now's the opportunity for you to learn something new, whether it's a side thing, it's a full time thing, or a spare time thing, whatever it is.
Mhm.
We're here to help and really set you up professionally. So, Thank you, Maliha, for joining us for today's conversation. This is,
Thank you
it
for having
usually
me.
is longer because this is our thing.
Yes. We
This
could
is
go on and on.
No, literally, we could go on and on. And I just want to thank you for coming on. Truly, I love these conversations when we do talk about life insurance. And
Mhm.
for those that are watching, we will have many more topics like these. And every single week on Thursday, we have a new topic, a new guest. Once again, here at Prospera, we have the opportunity open if you want to become a life insurance agent or a tax agent, tax preparation specialist. And yeah, the sky's the limit here. So,
Yeah.
anything else you want to say, Malia, before we end the live?
Well, I just want to remind everyone, if you have not reviewed the coverage that you have, please review it. If you don't have any coverage, please talk to somebody. We are all available here at Prosperity to help any individual who does need the help. But we're not telling you to come and talk to us. Go talk to somebody.
Yep.
Protect yourself, protect your family. And if you're looking for the opportunity to make more money, we want to help you with that. So definitely reach out and look into the opportunities that Nicole spoke about. And I can't wait to come back and speak to everyone again.
Thank you again, Malia. We will see you all next week and have a wonderful afternoon. Bye, guys.
Bye.